Okay, Rupert Murdoch, he ain't happy with just basically owning much, if not most, of the media in the United Kingdom and Australia, several media holdings in the United States, the Wall Street Journal, the New York Post, Fox News, Fox Television. Which of the movie companies does he own? It's all there. 20th Century Fox, that's right. All that stuff. He wants more. He wants a media monopoly. He's currently jockeying to buy the Los Angeles Times and the Chicago Tribune, which just so happen to be the nation's, or not the nation's, but the largest newspaper in the nation's second and third largest cities. So, if he gets these, they would add to his current media empire in the United States, which includes the most watched cable news network in the nation, Fox so-called News, the most circulated newspaper in the nation, the Wall Street Journal. And the only thing standing in Murdoch's way of full-spectrum media domination in America are FCC rules, Federal Communications Commission rules, that forbid one company from owning both a newspaper and a television station in one town. Murdoch already owns local TV stations in both Chicago and Los Angeles. But according to sources inside the FCC, the chairman of the FCC, Democratic Obama appointee Chairman Julius Genachowski, is quietly planning to scrap these rules that go back to the 20s. Under pressure from major media moguls like Murdoch, who see big bucks and, by the way, huge political power in a consolidated national and local media, Genachowski circulated a new order to other FCC commissioners, which is apparently how it got leaked out to us, that would allow for cross-ownership of TV and newspapers in the nation's 20 largest media markets. They tried this during the Bush administration, 2007. FCC tried this. Got shot down when the Senate voted to repeal it. And then a federal court blocked it. Not to mention the fact that, the FCC has this open comments period. 99% of the public comments that the FCC received opposed that media consolidation effort. But that didn't stop Murdoch or the other media moguls. They kept going, pushing, lobbying, buying off. I mean, who knows? Maybe Genachowski's been offered, made an offer he can't refuse. I kind of doubt he woke up with a horse's head in his bed. It's probably more like, hey, how'd you like to have a job at News Corp for, say, $1 million a year when you retire from the FCC? Let's not talk about it now, but, after you retire, give me a shout. So now we understand President Obama's FCC is going to consider these rule changes again next month, as in like next week starts next month in December. And if Americans don't get involved in this issue, if we don't push the FCC to say no, if we don't call the White House comment line and say no, if we don't go to freepress.net and participate in their campaign to say no to this, then Murdoch and his billionaire buddies are going to get what they want, which is complete domination of our news media. I mean, this is how bad it is already. Ben Bagdikian points out in his book, The New Media Monopoly, the United States is already basically the victim of a complete media monopoly. Today, only 5 corporations, one of which is Rupert Murdoch's News Corp, own the majority of all the media seen, read, or listened to by Americans: radio, TV, newspapers, and magazines. Hundreds of newspapers, thousands of radio stations, hundreds of television stations, tens of thousands of magazines, the majority of them owned by 5 companies. If the FCC gets completely out of the way, it's going to get even worse. More consolidation, more monopoly. And this, not only does this produce, not only is monopoly like bad for economies, which is, enough reason to oppose it. It stops innovation. It keeps, small players out of the marketplace, prevents new people from coming into the marketplace. Or if they do, they only last, a year or two before they get bought up by one of the giants and then homogenized. I mean, this is. You say, well, there's still people starting new businesses and small businesses, and yeah, but the new business plan is start a business and build it up as fast as you can, so that you can sell it to one of these big guys before they squash you like a bug. Okay, so there's that economic problem. It's bad for our economy. It's also a huge problem for democracy. And if there's one monopoly that's more dangerous than all the others, it's a media monopoly. Having a democratic republic, what we're supposed to have, a constitutionally limited, representative democratic republic. If you want to have one that functions, as Thomas Jefferson so eloquently and repeatedly pointed out, you have to have a well-informed electorate. Voters who are well-informed. And if one corporation or one eccentric billionaire owns the means of information, they can hijack the public debate and bend it to their will. For example, consider what happened in Italy. For years we did Berlusconi alerts on this program. Remember Silvio Berlusconi? He started out as a cruise boat lounge singer and small-time hustler. Then he bought a newspaper, then a small television station, then a radio station, then another TV station, then another newspaper, then another radio station, then he bought another TV station, then another newspaper, then a radio network, then a TV network, and suddenly Berlusconi ended up owning about 95% of all the media seen, heard, or read in the country of Italy. And with the control of the information in Italy, Berlusconi decided to run for prime minister. And wouldn't you know, he won! Surprise! In fact, with this iron grip that he had on the media, Berlusconi served as prime minister of Italy for 3 full terms, or 3 separate terms, totaling nearly a decade, despite the fact that he was accused, and I'm not talking about by his detractors, I'm talking about by prosecutors, was accused of nearly every crime you can imagine, including tax fraud, false accounting, corruption, bribery, perjury, mafia collusion, aiding terrorist organizations, and having sex with minors at his infamous bunga bunga parties. I mean, that's how crucial a media monopoly is to political power and legal immunity from prosecution. In the meantime, Berlusconi oversaw the downgrade of Italy's press freedoms, as documented by the organization Freedom House, which demoted Italy's press. Italy, we're talking, a fully developed modern European country. They demoted Italy's press from free, like the rest of Europe and the developed world, to only partly free. The main reason for the demotion? Berlusconi's ability to completely manipulate the media, which, according to Freedom House, was a conflict of interest among the most blatant in the world. It took the technocrats of the European Union to force him out of office last year. Ultimately, if the FCC approves these rule changes and allows Murdoch to gobble up more and more of our media, then we could be facing our own Silvio Berlusconi situation. Not that Murdoch is going to run for office, but instead, he's a kingmaker in the Republican Party. Already is. And he puts prominent Republicans on his payroll. Sarah Palin, Mike Huckabee, Rick Santorum, Newt Gingrich, John Kasich. If he's got a bigger media empire, maybe even a monopoly, he's going to be able to handpick politicians and then use his massive conservative media complex to win elections Silvio Berlusconi style. And that should scare the hell out of all of us. And it should scare the hell out of President Obama, the guy who is the boss of the FCC. But apparently we can't depend on Obama to act on this, so we have to do it ourselves. Get over to freepress.net and join the campaign against Murdoch's media power grab. This is serious.